Um. So, when Lazara wakes up, she's going to walk over and knock on Dai's door.
Okay. So at one point, Diana hears a knock at the door.
Does Lazara say anything?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Does Lazara say anything, or does she just...
Um. Yeah, she'll probably say something like, "Hey, you awake?"
You hear down, go, show coming
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
in. We're sharing a mic, so it's a bit...
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, she just... you hear Diana go, sure, coming in.
Okay,
She still sounds a bit not like her usual self, I would say.
So, after she shuts the door behind her, Lazara's like, "Hectic day, huh? You all right?"
You don't say. I think I did all right. So,
I'm sorry, what was that?
you don't say, but I think I did all right. What's up?
I wanted to talk to you about something, because something weird happened when I passed out earlier. I just want to know visions are like.
What my visions are like?
Yeah.
Well, they're not fun. I'll tell you that much. What do you mean more exactly by that?
She kind of thinks about it. She kind of thinks about it for a moment. She says, "I don't really know, because I had this really weird dream when I was passed out, and I don't know. I just saw a bunch of images I couldn't make sense."
Well, it sounds a bit different. Usually, my dreams will be a bit cryptic sometimes, but I wouldn't say in that sense, no.
I would have. I don't know. I would have passed it off as just a regular dream. Kind of weird that happened.
Were you gonna high from the fumes?
What was that?
Maybe you got high from the fumes.
We're very close to it.
Lazara says, "I wish I was high right now."
To make things so much easier.
Oh my god. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It sounds a bit different, really. It'd probably be worth looking into it, though, those kinds of things. It's not really a good idea to ignore them.
Lazara kind of thinks about it, and she says, yeah, that's true." And she kind of looks back at Dai and is like, "Is there anything you want to talk about?"
She coughs a little and says, "This whole thing, fuck. I'm angry, I." She raises her voice a little bit and she lowers it again.
It's late there, people sleep.
Yeah. Shit, I told you guys last night, and everyone chose to not listen. And you know what the worst part is? It's all of this is also my fault because I chose to do nothing as well. So I'm upset. Just want to go home, to be honest.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
I just want to go home, to be honest.
Um, Lazara just kind of turns her head away and starts scratching her head a little bit, and she says, "Well, yeah, that's fair." And she there's a window in this room, right?
Yes.
It'd be kind of shitty if it wasn't.
Well,
It would be kind of shitty if there weren't any like windows and like the bedrooms.
Yeah, it's more like a cell.
Yeah.
Lazara just kind of goes over to the window and looks out it, and she says, I understand what you. I wish we could have saved those people that got melted by the dragon.
A lot of people died. And it kind of is our fault. I know we were doing what we had to do. Like, I get that, but still is our fault. I don't like that.
At first, Lazara just kind of looks like she doesn't know how to respond to it, and she just kind of looks back and says, "Well, next time you fill out next time you next time you feel like something like this, if it seems like we're not listening, just make sure you tell me. I'll listen to you."
Dad just kind of looks at you for a moment, and I mean, I personally, I'm sure Lazara is telling the truth, but Diana's gonna roll insight on that.
Okay.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It seems pretty genuine. It does seem very genuine.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, she looks at Lazara like she's thinking about it for a moment, and She thanks you.
Um, after that, after that, Lazara says, "Well, I'm just going to I'm just going to go out and see if everything's ready for us to be getting on the move soon."
Yeah, I meant to ask what's next. I think personally we should go grab this guy, and we need to regroup somewhere safe and think of what to do next.
Where do you want to take him?
We could take him home with us. I mean, that's a place
She's gonna
that controls
adopt
the
him.
place that's safe. I'm sure Simon will object, but he'll be fine.
I'm sure he won't try to escape if he has a giant dragonborn looking down on him.
That is absolutely true.
um, and she says, "All right, I'll go out and make sure everything's in order, and once everybody's awakened together, we'll go get Virian and head back to Passage. How's it sound?"
Yeah, that would probably be a good way to go. I don't think it'd be much use sticking around here for much longer. I would probably just be in the way of everything they have going on now. We've done all we can to help at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And and after that, Lazara is going to go out and personally check on the Star Shadow Order to make sure it's still standing and that they
Still in one piece, like actually
that they
in one
won't
piece.
they won't actually have any trouble using it to get back to Passage.
It's like you walk past it and you see like the front of it is fine, but then you look like around and the entire back of it is just gone.
Yeah, it's just the front door.
There's just
You
a big
open
wall
the door,
now.
and then the rest of the wall just falls down. You're just like, well. Fuck. Yeah, no, you head out to the Star Shadow Order Guild. It's just kind of down the street from where you are, and it's still pretty well intact. Pretty much untouched by the battle, just like the Arrow Rock Hunters Co. was. And you head inside and look about. There are a couple of people sitting around delving into books and the typical wizard nerds. And you and those other weird people that don't get their powers through a different entity. But you do find that the teleportation circle seems to be perfectly in order.
Okay, sweet.
Yep.
What's Faye doing?
I
What
was
is Faye
actually
doing?
I was originally gonna check up on Diana, but Jake beat me to the point. Oh, whoops.
Rip.
But
I mean, you
it's
still
fine.
can.
I mean, yeah, you
yeah.
don't. Faye doesn't know that, so
Yeah, Faye doesn't know that.
Oh yeah.
that
Oh
how to
yeah.
talk.
And the conversation is most likely going to be different.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta check those branching trees, son.
Yeah, I guess Faye will do that.
Alrighty.
or did she? I mean, I don't know. That's another option.
As the Zara leaves, there's just Faye against the door, like, hi. Yeah,
No,
you
it's
can do that if you
fine.
want. So, do you want to go and speak to Diana, or
um. Uh. I. Hmm. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
so you head over to Diana's room and give it a little niggity knock at the door?
Fair, but
All right. So Diana opens the door and sees a Faye.
did she
Yeah.
act like? Oh, did she awkwardly run into Lysira when she was leaving, or not?
No, this is after Lazara left.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Faye just kind of like when she opens the door, she's like, "Hey, did you tea that?" Like, yeah.
I'm sorry. What was that? You
For the tea.
The
Oh.
tea.
I don't even know if she noticed.
Probably not.
Is it just there?
I mean, yeah, it's just
Lazara
kind
probably
of there.
moved it.
But the,
Lazara probably moved it to the side when she went in.
yeah, it's like right by the door.
Yeah,
She's
now,
like,
now that Faye mentions it, I look over like, oh, sorry, I didn't really notice.
Slept through the knock.
no, that's fine. I was just checking up on you. Kinda ran off quickly after the battle.
Yeah, I just thought I needed to cool down. Went.
Yeah. I mean, talk about it. It's fine, but it does concern me when any of you guys just run off like that. Such of like in such a manner.
Well, I guess I wish the dragon didn't cause all the damage.
Well, yeah, that's been. But I think the best thing we can do now is just do the best we can to just help out as much as we can. May not be much, but the least we could do.
Diana says it's with the way everything went down, I tried to warn you guys this could be the problem, and you guys said that no, it's not.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I could barely hear you. I'm sorry.
Is this just a general connection? Because I'm getting the same thing from her.
It could be.
Are you getting that as well?
Yeah, Lacey's cutting out a lot for me, but
shit.
It might just be an internet thing.
Yeah, the internet has been a bit like
it's been wonky for us.
Stable for us the last few days.
Yeah,
no,
just our internet as well has been terrible.
Well, okay, I was just wondering because like last week, Mike. Oh, I think I am still cutting out on my side, so
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll it's doing it again. No.
But yeah, no, sorry about that. Diana's
No,
saying that look, just the way all of this went down, it could have been so different if you guys had just listened to what I had to say last night, and you just chose not to. And I feel responsible because I decided to go along with that as well when I should have trusted my gut feeling. And I'm honestly still kind of upset about it. I can't help but feeling responsible. A lot of people died.
Faye kind of, she's kind of quiet, and she like thinks, and she's like, she she just you know, hold on, I'm sorry. um she just kind of thinks, and she's like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess it really was, all our fault and everything. But, well, one thing I do have to say though is, um, you know, sorry. Uh, um, oh God, sorry. Yeah, she just is like, yeah, I guess it really, we kind of is sort of like all our fault. And I should personally apologize for not believing you. When, to be a good team member is to listen to what everyone has to say, despite how outrageous it sounds and how crazy it sounds. I take part, I take my responsibility for that too. I wish things could have been done differently, but, I guess this is just sort of a reminder for us to keep alert and just make sure that doesn't happen again.
Diana nods at you, and she thinks for a moment, and she says, "Thank you. I get it." And I understand it's not really something you didn't on purpose, but
No, but I should have listened to you. That was my mistake. And, you know, this isn't the first time I've done something like this, and consequences were consequences were set because of it. And I really should have listened, and, I'm sorry.
she gives you a pat on the shoulder, and she says, "Well, I appreciate your apology."
She,
And
oh, go ahead.
and she says, "Anyway, I was just talking to Sarah a moment ago, and Dinah explains everything that she and Sarah talk about like what we're doing now.
About the what? I'm sorry.
About what we're doing next. she explains to you that she suggested that we should probably move somewhere safe, regroup, and see where we're going now.
That sounds like a good idea.
And that I don't know if Lysara told me that she did, didn't she? That she was gonna go and see if the circles were
yeah.
Yeah, so I explain all that. I feel Faye in on all of that.
Mm. Does she fill in Faye with like the dreams, or does she leave that part out?
I'm gonna say she leaves that part out.
Okay. You said everything, so I don't want to like just assume that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just everything after all of that, just everything that
Yeah.
was like plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Faye kind of agrees with it, and before, she kind of lets her, like kind of like run, like walks off and everything. She kind of gives Pat.
She gives Pat a die on the back.
You're doing great.
I don't know what it is. I've been really scatterbrained today. I'm super sorry, guys.
That's fine.
It happens.
Yeah. She just kind of gives like Di a little pat on the back, and she says, don't beat yourself up so hard over this. Yes, it was really bad that this happened, but it's not all your fault, and you shouldn't be putting like this much blame on yourself. You did what we could, and I think you're doing all right, and you're doing fine, and you just take a rest and try not to force yourself so hard.
Thanks. I'll do what I can.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I'm sorry.
No, that was my bad.
Yeah, it's just the internet. Don't worry about it. She says, thanks. I'll try to do what I can.
You're doing your best. That's all that matters.
All right. So, Faye returns to her room for the rest of the night. And you guys just take the rest of the day to continue unwinding and recovering from everything that happened the day before. Until morning comes around. And is there anything that you guys would like to do that following morning?
Well, I suppose we gather again in the morning.
Yeah.
Downstairs or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess Diana will ask Lysara. So what's the deal with the guild? Is everything okay?
Yeah, the guild's still standing, and the portals are still working. So we could definitely use that to haul Virian back to Passage.
Would it work if we turn him invisible? Because I don't want to have to explain. The kind of guy.
You can't do that.
What if we all like roll persuasion and we have to like it's just a group effort?
I was gonna say we can put a bag on his head.
I don't know if we're like chummy enough with the people like in the guild here. I
thought you were talking about I thought you were talking about Simone, but
oh no, don't worry about Simone.
Diana's like, I can handle him.
Oh, yeah, Simone's fine. Don't worry about it.
I have my entire life of experience.
Dad, I brought home a criminal. Okay, just put him with the rest.
Put it with the rest.
Where did I put
the
him?
other ones.
Where did I put him? In the hall closet.
Whole closet.
We'll just lock him in the basement. It'll be fine.
Lazara's like, well, I mean, as long as we get to passage before the spell ends, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I mean, we could cast it right before we get in the guild, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll just tie him up, gag him, and throw him in the cart again. And before we bring him into the guild, we'll just turn him invisible for a little bit, and that'll be that.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So you guys going back out to the woods?
Yep.
All right. So you make your way out that gate and walk your way to the woods. I presume that Gunther's carriage has you're bringing a horse for the carriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The horse that we're renting,
Yeah.
that is not going through the
Just
teleporter.
have, like, Diana fucking...
Yeah, the horse is not coming with us.
Yeah.
It's my morning workout.
I am the fucking strong.
Shit.
But yeah, you head north into the woods, and you happen to find that same river with the bridge crossing over it. After a bit of time looking, it's not in the same place that you remember it from last time you were in the woods, but you get the sense that Mistral can move it to wherever she sees fit in the woods. She can change the woods as she likes. So you cross over this river bridge and head in towards the little heartwood alcove, I suppose, that she has carved out. And you find her there, sitting upon the rock, and you can see Virion is just kind of carving things into a tree, like with a stone that's nearby. And it seems that he's counting down, like, days.
Oh my god.
I mean,
He's counting days.
But
Yeah.
it's only been one.
he was ready.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, no,
Well, at least he's getting used to jail life.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get really used to it here soon.
He's such a drama queen, this guy.
Mr. Real's just kind of sitting there watching him. As you guys walk in, she smiles at all of you.
Lazara just kind of points at Virion with his thumb, and she says, "Is he gonna be okay?"
She kind of shrugs. She says, I
They
hope
kinda-
so.
Faye kind of like approaches Varian, like nudges him, like, and it's just like, stop that, like, show some respect.
And he looks up at you and like he looks exhausted and just ruined, and he like a husk of a person. He says, "It's been so long since someone else was here." Like,
It's been one day.
and you look over at the tree, and there's 6 markings etched in. It's like it's been so much longer.
The party's
No,
just, like,
it's really
looking
been
at
one
each
day.
Yeah, it's only been one day, dude.
I feel like he's been making strokes like every few hours.
Like, what are you counting down? The hours that you haven't had a butler tend to you?
The days that have gone by that I've been sitting here alone with her, and he points at Mistral, who's sitting up on a rock, and she looks down at you guys. She shrugs.
Mistral, she wouldn't harm a fly.
It is the 4th fall today. I think, yes. We said it was the day
Is the-
before.
It's
the
the, it's the
4th of
4th of
Yeah.
fall.
Yes.
Yes,
Lazara,
it was the 3rd.
Lazara kind of walks closer to Mistral, and she says so that Virian can't hear. Did you do that?
Mistral says, "No, it has only been a day. He's just been marking the tree and weeping.
This guy is really pathetic.
It's
Holy
been
shit.
rather interesting to watch."
I told you guys she was just gonna like have fun with this guy and just be watching
Faye
him.
just like, if iPhones like existed in this world, Faye would just like get like an iPhone. She's like, "You're doing great, honey," at Mistral. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
she says, I didn't do anything. He just kind of, I've been watching him. It seems as though there are just random intervals where he'll mark the tree and then quietly sob.
Even I'm not that bad.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Yeah, even Gunther's not that big of a weenie. I mean, to be fair, this guy, he's like a rich boy. Like,
He is. He's a very rich boy.
Jesus.
Diana says mockingly as she's dating a rich boy.
What a rich
Just-
boy, she says as
Yeah.
she dates the prince.
It's like, well, this guy is like a really rich guy. You know how they are. It's like, how is Clovis? She's like, shut your damn face. Cosmos 8-6.
How dare you?
2d6 backhand damage.
Shit.
Jesus.
I guess I guess we should thank her for like that.
He says, of course, the more weird people you bring to hang out with me here, the more fun I get to have watching.
Awesome, we'll do that.
Oh,
more
do you
often
want to
then.
babysit Gunther for us then?
No, thank you. I have other business to attend to. I'm a busy man.
It's okay. She just says, no, thank you.
Oh, no.
After she said she says that, Lazara laughs and winks and says, "Oh, I like your attitude."
Faye's just like, My choice.
How would Mary feel about this?
She's like, we have an open relationship, I'll have you know.
At least I'm pretty sure. That's what I think anyway. I think she thinks that. We'll see.
Gay panic.
Gay fear. She says, well, he's been entertaining company, so I don't mind. You can bring forward whoever you think is entertaining.
We'll
do
be
so
sure
enjoy
to
it.
do that.
Sure, there'll be plenty more.
Lazara looks over at Virian and just kind of has this sadistic grin on her face as she says, "Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll happen again."
You see him kind of looking back at you and like pouting, and you just say, "I'm sure it'll happen again." He just kind of goes,
Oh my god.
He just sobs.
He's actually a weenie.
This
Holy
poor
shit.
man. I feel like this man would literally spend like 5 minutes in prison and then just straight up die.
He spent 5
Just
minutes
fall
and
over
he
dead.
says he says he wants to go home.
I want to
Let's-
go home.
Yes, can I leave, please? Thank you. There's quite enough.
They
of this.
feed him his first jail meal and he just fucking dies.
What do you mean? I would get sparkly water.
I'm sorry. I requested foie gras on a like slice of like toasted baguette. Thank you.
You may
With,
not know
with
who I
a
am.
side of caviar.
You may not recognize me. I killed a lich, a dragon.
Oh my god.
dragons.
Yeah.
This- after he starts sobbing, Lazira walks over to him and smiles, and in the sweetest voice she can muster, she says, "Don't fuck with me, Varian."
He says nothing. He just continues to sob.
Oh my god.
He is a broken man.
Can we put him to
It
sleep?
took one day.
It probably took well less than one day. 'Cause there are 6 marks on that fucking tree.
It took
Jesus.
a couple
Christ.
hours to break this man.
If it was that easy, like, oh my god.
We should put him to sleep so he would stop crying.
Like, yeah, well, you're coming with us, and I grab him by like the collar and I just drag him away. Gunther, do you think?
Okay, so he's like, you
So-
grab him by like, the scruff and like pull him backwards, dragging him back toward the bridge. Like he's just sitting there defeated. Like
When you
he's,
say
like,
do
just
your
playing
thing,
out
what
and
do you
trying to pass
mean?
forward.
Oh no!
The car.
Just do your Gunther thing.
I thought she
Just
meant the
do-
rope.
I mean,
I mean, tying him up probably isn't a bad idea.
Yeah.
Less flailing around,
so he can't
really.
escape. So he can't escape the cut.
Yeah, I'll tie him up.
Does Gunther do the thing where he like takes the rope and then snaps it really like
No,
sharp?
He does
Oh
not.
shit!
Gunther does not do that.
Whip crack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
He does
Just
take out the
really
rope
good
and
at
then,
tying
like,
people up.
kind of twist it so you can hear like the tension in the rope kind of creak. And then you tie up Virion a real good.
How many feet of rope does
Um,
that use?
Oh,
Well, you'll get it back. So
you get it back, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not like we're using it to like escape somewhere. We're not coming back to it.
It's
yeah,
true.
You'll get it back when you untie him. Anyway. So you tie up Virion and chuck him in the back of the cart. And you're on your way.
Hope you like swimming with the
Uh,
fishes.
Oh my god.
Roll it.
Did Gunther just turn into a mob boss?
I was just joking.
Jesus.
I was
Good.
really just joking.
My God.
I was just.
This character
What?
development.
I was just joking. I wasn't being
Virion-
serious for one moment.
Virion begins to weep.
Gunther immediately goes from the butt of all jokes to the most scary member of the party.
Just straight up, like. He went from like, don't fuck with me, I have the power of God and anime on my side, to just straight up
Screech.
mob boss.
It just fucking
Yeah,
screeches.
you're like sleeping with the fishes. And then you close the door, and like Virion's crying, and you're like, I don't know why he's so upset. I just mean that he'd probably have to share a room with the siren because there aren't many boarding rooms in the passage building. I don't get why he's so upset. He gets the bed, she has a bathtub.
What's that? It's just shitting yourself laughing.
Yeah, but just genuinely, like, I don't understand.
Anyway, yeah, we I guess we head to the guild.
Uh-huh.
He's gagged, right?
Is Lazar gonna talk to Marigold before we go? I feel like she should probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot about
Oh, right. He exists.
that. I was even telling myself after the whole checking up on the guild thing that I needed to remember to talk to Marigold. I
Yeah,
forgot.
because look, it'll probably be easier if we just like teleport with this guy, but I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing her soon back in Passage because I think that's where the rally was going anyway.
So it was going next, yeah.
Yeah. So
Excuse me. That's
Yeah.
where it was
Yeah.
going next, yeah.
Gunther has some,
Yeah, so,
some business he wants to take care of, but you can do that later.
Okay.
So, yeah, before we actually leave, Lazira is going to go talk to Marigold and update her on what our plans for now is.
Okay. So you find Marigold kind of she's out the front of the Arrow Rock Hunters Co. building, and she's got the rest of her crew there as well. They're just kind of sitting on crates and barrels and just kind of chatting and joking around about stuff and talking about how they all survived a dragon attack and they're all totally fine. This is easily just as bad as a kraken for sure. We got to tell people about this. And then roll a perception check as well. Those work.
All right.
So you guys can see like Rithril kind of like peering from behind the curtains, like through the window at them all. And I'll get an insight check from both of you.
Okay.
Okay. You guys can both pretty well tell like he doesn't seem very happy that they're sort of hanging around just out the front of his building, lollygagging and that kind of stuff. But Diana, you're pretty sure that he recognizes them as the people responsible for the snake incident that his people had to clean up.
Well, it was an accident, as far as he knows.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just kind of real sus looking at them, you know, just kind of peering at them through his window, through the edge of the curtain. But yeah, the crew see you and they wave you over and cheer as you return triumphantly. Just to clarify, Virion is indeed gagged as he is tied up in the cart that you're
You
carting
hear quiet
along.
sobbing.
Yeah, just muffled.
Muffled sobbing, like.
You could think it's a ghost.
Ugly crying.
Yeah.
Ugly crying, yeah.
Like we open up the thing and there's like literal snot coming out of his nose and like his face
Aw.
is red.
Yeah.
Just close the.
Legit, it's all
Just put him back.
splotchy.
You're like we open it and then slowly close the doors. Like it's fine.
Looks so pathetic.
Coming from Gunther.
Fuck.
Yeah, if they're saying you look pathetic, that's insane. But just
That's a sizable oof.
yeah.
Anyway, yes. So, what would you like to say to Marigold?
She says, so we really need to get heading back to Passage and figure out what we're going to do with. And then she kind of looks back and says, "You know who?"
She looks over at like the cart, and you see her expression change. And she goes, "Oh, you should have left him in the woods."
Sure was
That-
like
Lazira just kind of pulls her in and whispers to her about how the state they found him in the woods.
Okay. She kind of is just like, can I see?
She says, I mean, sure, just don't make too big a deal about it.
Okay, you see Marigold walk to like the back of the cart and like open up one of the doors and look inside, and he's just tied up there like sobbing. You can see past her like there's snot running down the side of his face. He's lying on his side, drool coming out. There's tears everywhere.
oh my god.
His hair's a mess. And he's just like, and then she just closes the door and turns around. You can see there's a massive grin on her face, the biggest you've ever seen. And she's like, okay, good. I'll be sure to. I'll be sure to come visit you in Passage when when we get there.
That guy's gonna have to clean up his own mess.
He's like, ew, my car.
It's brand new.
Like a snot, there's tears. You're pretty sure he's pissed himself. Like it's just
Oh my god.
it's terrible.
He's like a literal baby.
Um,
Damn, baby.
she said, Lazara grins and says, "I'll be looking forward to it."
Okay. She gives you a little pat on the shoulder and then a peck on the cheek. And then she points at all of her guys and rounds them up and says, "All right, guys, we got a lot of cargo to load onto our ship." And then she turns to one of them and says, "We still have a ship, don't we?" And they're like, "I mean, we're pretty sure it's okay. If not, I'm sure there's another one that looks pretty close enough to it." And they all laugh. They walk down the street.
Just casually steals a boat. No one will know.
I mean, they're pirates. It's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys like to do now that you have Virion tired and gagged and sobbing in your cart out the front of the Arrow Rock Hunters Cove?
I guess we now head to this the SSO. Before we go in, obviously Diana goes in.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were going to turn him invisible.
It's like, you better stay quiet or I'll fuck you up even.
Roll intimidation. I'll give you advantage on it. Okay.
When we
Before
don't even
you-
need to roll anything. He's just like a fucking mess.
Yeah. Before you turn him invisible, he just looks at you and goes, "Uh-huh." And then yeah,
Oh my god.
you turn him invisible.
Fuck.
Jesus. So,
Lazara, lead the way.
Lazara's gonna go ahead and go into the building.
alrighty. So you guys head into the Star Shadow Order, and you can see there's a few people that are scattered about doing work. You see there's that blonde-haired receptionist who's just still a fucking disaster, like trying to organize everything.
Oh, no.
You see a couple of other people around. The dwarven guy who identified the staff. He seems to be busy working on a scroll of some sort. You can also see a woman with black hair, glasses, and she's just surrounded herself with pages of notes that she's working on.
Is that Gunther's new girlfriend?
I mean, maybe.
Excuse me, she's not his girlfriend.
But he could be.
They don't know that. So
Yeah, you don't know her.
yeah. Yeah. What would you guys like to do?
Specifically, what Gunther likes to do.
Yeah.
Gunther basically just
Does she
tells the
notice
party.
him?
What?
Does she notice him?
No, she's just head down in her books.
Yeah. Gunther basically just tells the party that he had some business today. Like, okay, so I had some business today, but I can always let my friend know that I won't be available, and yeah, shouldn't take too long. And
This friend of yours.
You have a friend?
yes, as unlikely as it sounds.
You have a
I like how
What?
Gunther just roasts himself now.
Gunther is aware of it anyway.
Jesus.
He's kind of used to it.
I didn't know you were capable of complex emotion.
Oh my god! This is just literally the session where we just roast
Gunther's like,
Gunther.
I found that humorous. I will store that in my bags for later.
Oh my god.
What?
Diana's just like, I didn't know you were capable of complex emotion. And Gunther just says, oh, I found that humorous. I shall store that in my bags for later.
Oh my god.
But no. So what would Gunther like to do?
So Gunther he just told them. So he's just gonna go up to the receptionist and he saw her, right? He just wants to.
He saw her.
He just wants to talk to Veronica real quick before they leave.
Okay. So you head over to the table at which Veronica is just frantically writing notes. And she looks up and sees you, and she says, "Oh, good. Have you brought your detailed analysis of your runes?"
Unfortunately, today I might not be available as we are returning to Passage in quite a hurry, actually.
Rain check.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. However, if I can make it back to Windmere, like, in the near future, possibly, I will come visit. If anything, you can find me in Passage, for the most part.
Can we roll insight on like the nature of the relationship between them?
Sure.
Yes.
And I'll let Gunther decide. What do you think they can glean with a 12 and 15?
Wait,
And
Hold on.
an
11.
11.
I feel like the girl side just like
I'd say it's mostly like I'd say it's like it's friendship, professional friendship.
And then how professional. This is the first time Gunther has like approached a girl and started talking.
I mean, they were supposed to meet up to exchange research stuff. So but I'd say that
you can invite her over.
Diana's all like, "Hey, invite your new girlfriend to Passage."
Do it, bitch. You won't.
But yeah, Gunther pretty much just says that he's gonna be in Passage if she wants to come visit. And well,
She says, "I shall do that when it is next most convenient."
that's good. And I might as well just ask if she'd like to meet his friends, his party.
She you guys see her kind of like lean around the side of Gunther and like look at all of you through her
It's a bunch of girls.
bespectacled eyes. Yeah, just a bunch of girls. And she returns to her seat and then says, it's an interesting makeup of your adventuring party you have there."
Yeah, I didn't.
After I'm sorry about that.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I didn't really choose them.
And
Oh my god!
A burn for a burn.
while they're saying that, Lazira comes over and sticks out her hand and says, "Lazira Leonardo, what's up?"
She takes your hand and shakes it, and she says, "Greetings. I'm not sure how to answer your question."
Gunther just kind of like lean towards her and kind of whispers like, "She's dangerous."
Oh no!
Diana walks up to you and she's like, "I didn't know Gunther had friends."
she kind of she arches her eyebrows slightly and she says, "Gunther."
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeffrey.
She looks up at Gunther and smiles, and she says, "It's an interesting name."
Yeah, I picked that one up on the road.
I see. How did you manage to pick up that name on the road? Was it of your own doing?
It was a terrible decision, yes.
Indeed, I wouldn't do many dealings with a merchant named Gunther.
Oh my god!
I mean, how many dealings would you do with a merchant named Jeffrey?
I mean, considerably more than Gunther.
Alright, that settles it. I'll drop that name.